everybody. Get welcome. Whoa, what happened to my music? Just died. That's the weirdest thing ever. There, it's back again. Hey, everybody. We'll be starting in just another minute or two. We're going to let a couple other stragglers get here first. And that's it. We'll be starting just shortly. Hang it tight. Hey, how's it going, everybody? We got Jim here. Jim, how you doing, man?
Good to see you, Kevin.
Good to see you. We got Beal from Germany here. B, how are you? You're looking fantastic today. John, I don't think we've met before. Where are you located? Oops, you're muted.
My bad. I'm just north of Indianapolis, Indiana.
All right, cool. Indianapolis. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
And we got David. David, you're in Vancouver, right?
Vancouver.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've got someone coming in to give an air conditioning quote, so I might have to cut out for a minute or two, just so you know.
No
I'm
problem.
not being rude.
Hot. So, yeah, you need to get some air.
That sounds cool.
We got Leroy back. Leroy!
Trouble.
All right, we're starting in just a minute. What's been happening, Leroy? How are you?
I am good. Just came back from New Orleans.
How was it?
It's a wide open town. It was fun. It really was fun.
All right, Joe.
Can you see me? I can see you, but
yeah, I can see you. You look fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah, wow. That dress really makes your eyes look great.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin, how long do we get?
We're going to do 4 minutes today.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. So I think the only one that hasn't been here before is John. So John, at 3 minutes, after 3 minutes, I'm going to hold this up. That's the 1 minute left sign. After that, I'm going to turn it around and that's your time. You don't have to panic when I say that's your time. You can say goodbye in a nice way. You don't have to say that's my time. You don't have to panic. All right. Our order's going to go like this. We're going to go B, John, David, Jimmy, and closing the show is gonna be Leroy. We're doing 4.
All right, Leroy.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm closing the show because I'm so nasty.
We haven't seen Leroy for a while. So let's do this. Let's get this thing started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gnomes and elves, I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I'm glad you're here today to share some human contact and a sense of humor. Thanks for joining us. Make some noise! Yeah! That's awesome. We got Amy's here. Amy just bailed. She got chickened out. Did you see that? She chickened out. But that's okay. She chickened out. Welcome. It's the Greg Dean Stand-Up Comedy Open Mic. I am one of the teachers as well as the host of the Open Mic. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out because if you weren't here, it would be really boring for me. So I want to thank you. We have a fabulous show. These comedians have performed all over the world. If you've seen An Evening at the Improv, if you've seen Late Night with David Letterman, if you've seen Conan, they've seen these shows too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's get the show started. I'm so excited. Our first performer, she's in Germany. She assisted in the building of the Great Wall of China. She wrote a short story about a tall woman, and she has teeth made entirely of diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, B!
Okay.
Hello, welcome. Hi, everybody from the other side of the world. So how many people have actually lived somewhere outside of their birth home, abroad?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, to be an expat is to sort of be extra, you know? You're sort of like that an old sponge in another country, just taking up space and air. So at the moment, I'm living in a small town called Wildbach in Germany, and it sits next to a forest. And it's crazy here because I I get stopped by the police a lot, and one of the things that happens is they ask me, so they try to give me alcohol tests. They gave me an alcohol test once, and I said, "Look, I'm not good at taking tests. I feel like my talents are being wasted."
Okay.
Yeah. And then another week they stopped me, and a while back German police officer said, "Have you steal this car?" And I said, "Yes, officer. I still have this car." I thought I'd be in a Mercedes by now, but no.
Okay.
And a while back, my hair is considered enemy number one. I get all sorts of issues. I tried to go to a hairstylist here, and she said, "You don't need a stylist, you need an exorcist."
Mhm.
Yeah, so my hair is curly and it's twisted. Yeah, it's bad hair, and it has a bad reputation in the village. But I found a hairdresser, and she said, "Your hair tells me everything I need to know about you." And I said, "What are you doing talking to my hair behind my back?"
Uh,
Yeah, she
behind your
tried to have
back,
a
huh?
relationship with my hair. And, I felt it was a Me Too movement because my hair was not having it. I believe she even put my hair in her mouth.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
Settle down,
So-
Leroy.
Oh, she's crossed over now.
I finally found a hairdresser. She is from the UK, and she says, "You have lovely hair." That's how she talks. And she said, but she believes in conspiracy theories. So she told me, one day we'll have no air, and people will have to buy air, and some people won't be able to afford air. And I said, "What? No hair? No hair?" If I'd have known that, I would have had USB extensions put in.
Okay.
She seems to have frozen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there, you're back. All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, B, give her a round of applause.
Abby.
Okay, B.
Man, can you feel the energy? Thanks for sharing with us, B. You were talking about buying air. I'm not kidding. There was a couple years back, I actually bought, it was considered a can of air. I'm not serious. I bought it at 7-Eleven just because I thought it was the funniest thing, a can of air. That's not the same as an empty can that says just add water and you have instant water. That's an empty can. And yeah, I'm confusing myself. Ladies and gentlemen, this next performer kayaked down the Nile River. He invented toenail clippers, and he discovered the lost city of El Dorado. Put your hands together. Just north of Indianapolis, John Mulhill.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Go ahead, John. All right, all right.
Thanks for having me. I love Greg Dean, by the way. It must have taken a really, really long time to open up the very first antique store. I love it when I hear parents say, "We've never allowed drugs and alcohol in this house." Because I'm like, obviously you weren't there the entire time it was being built.
Okay.
My father-in-law asked me what I was going to do for a living. I said, I'm a comedian. He said, no, I mean, what are you going to do for money? I said, well, I married your daughter. He says, yeah, but she can't take care of your entire life. I said, well, you're not going to live forever, sir. Some say the grass is greener on the other side, but I digress. Some people have an issue with me being a dyslexic cross-dresser, but I digress. I think McDonald's needs to come out with a dipping sauce that makes their nuggets taste like chicken.
Right.
My friend asked me if I ever laugh when I'm making love with my wife. And I said, no, I usually don't get it. Not everyone finds me funny, but there are pills for that. It's all relative, said the inbred. You guys like impressions?
Sure.
If you had any brains, you'd be dangerous. That's my dad.
Oh, Jesus.
My dad would always be saying crazy stuff like, quit standing in my light, you moron. And I'd be thinking, I'm pretty sure all that darkness is coming from you, Dad. When I was a little kid, he'd be pushing me along in the store. Can you move any slower, Molehill? Yeah, Dad. When I'm old, fat, and have bad knees, I'll be moving a lot slower. My dad's always asking me to get my mama another glass of water from the toilet. He means well.
Wow.
Everyone that's ever said never give up eventually gives up. Never forget, even if you've forgotten. Tough crowd here. I might have to get my tickle team and send them over to you guys and make you guys laugh a little bit. That's one of my favorite thing about these Zoom mics. It doesn't matter what you do, it feels like that. But another thing I love about mics is it doesn't take my fat butt 3 minutes to get up to the mic. I can just sit here and turn the camera on. And I also like that after a Zoom mic, you don't have a bunch of drunks coming up to you, stumbling up all drunk. And that's just the other comedians. When I started out in comedy, I'm doing these open mics, you get all kinds of funny advice. They'd be like, you need to read this book called The Truth in Comedy. I said, well, to tell you the truth, if I wanted to read books, I'd get a real job. They say, well, comedy's a real job. I'm like, yeah, I meant one that pays. Like, I get paid. I said, yeah, but do your bills? Thank you. I'm Molehill.
Gentlemen,
All right. Okay. All right.
sharing with us, man. We haven't had anybody from north of Indianapolis, so you fill that void. We can put the pin in the map for that right there.
Happy to do so.
That was exciting. You got some nice tight jokes in there. That was funny. Dyslexic cross-dresser. Classic.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to keep the show going on. Don't forget to check out our website, Greg Dean's Stand-Up Comedy. You can just check it out. We got all kinds of crapola going on, all kinds of fun stuff and classes and webinars. Our next performer is the personal chef for Snoop Dogg. He was struck by lightning 2 times, and he's a professional goldfish trainer. Ladies and gentlemen, from Vancouver, David!
Hey, all right.
David.
Thank you.
Okay, David.
So yeah, I used to be a musician, and I used to do this after hours gig at a club called Basin Street. It was from 1 to 4 in the morning, and it attracted some pretty weird people. I remember one night, these 2 guys got in a fight right in front of the bandstand. And so as consummate musicians, we broke into a country tune as accompaniment. You know, they're beating the shit out of each other like do, 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 do. Bow to the left, bow to the right, kick him in the balls and start a big fight. But I'm also a therapist, and there's a big trend now. People using psychedelics in therapy. And something, I think people just want to get high. You just have to hope, because it's like mushrooms and psilocybin. I think people just want to get high, but you have to hope your medical insurance covers it. They're like, I'm sorry, we don't cover pizza toppings. Those are all private pay. Okay. We'll cover mushrooms, but we draw the line at pepperonis and anchovies.
Nice.
And the way it works is that you need 3 8-hour sessions, 2 therapists on site, 12 90-minute preparation and integration sessions. The whole thing costs $15,000. In the 70s, we'd buy a hit of acid for $5, and our preparation session would go like this. Hey, you want to get high? Yeah, okay, let's do it. And our integration session would be like, whoa, that was awesome. You got any more acid? But you don't need 2 people to watch you get high. I mean, that's like paying 2 therapists $250 an hour to watch you eat a hot dog and digest it.
Mhm.
And then the only integration you'd need when you burp and wipe the mustard off your chin. But the problem is, like, when we used to get high in the 70s, we would do stuff. Like, I remember a friend of mine, he got high and went to work at Dairy Queen. I mean, he didn't actually have a job there. And he ended up getting fired because the customers didn't like his blizzards smothered in fries and gravy. But I mean, that's what happens when you let someone with LSD on LSD plan your menu. I mean, you sure wouldn't see that on MasterChef.
No.
But also, we wouldn't have like 3 guys and 2 guys. We would all 3 be doing it. So today we call that a support group. And, you don't need an audience to get high, okay? And you'd have to be a really shitty performer to pay each audience member $250 an hour. But in that case, you would have a really loyal following. These people would be more fanatic than Beyonce fans. But I read that they had promising results on this in studies during the 60s. These weren't studies. No one kept track of anything other than the amount of time your underwear talked to you. But when I used to get high in the 70s on LSD, I thought I knew everything. Today, that role is played by my wife. But I mean, I used to think I knew everything, and then I forgot it all when I came back down. And I mean, $15,000 a lot to pay to forget something like that. I mean, I'm old. I can forget stuff for free. And then this article said that this is done a lot by underground therapists. These people aren't therapists. They're dealers, okay? Anyhow, thank you very much. Thanks, Kevin.
David, ladies and gentlemen,
Go
David.
ahead. Go ahead, David.
There really are jobs out there that they should allow you to be high. Like I think if you're working for 8 hours stocking cat food at Petco, they should require you to be high. Just keep snacks, stay nice and buzzed, and be like, dude, we can put that pallet over here. Yeah, man. Exciting. John, are you gonna do some time today?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be after the next performer. Elizabeth, are you gonna do some time, or are you gonna hide in blackface? Oh, she's still connecting the audio. You there, Elizabeth? All right. Well, let's keep the show going because we got to keep this energy just is through the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer is a TV news anchor, former Secretary of State, and has a skull made entirely of tungsten. Ladies and gentlemen, from Western Canada, Jimmy R.
Jimmy R.
Kevin, thanks, Kevin. That's great. What a great introduction. Kevin, our king of the comedy clowns. That's a cool thing. I'm a retired pirate from the west coast of Canada. Jimmy. I'm kind of nervous today, much like when I was out the other night at a cannibals convention and found out I was the main course. Oh, that crock pot was starting to get a little hot. but I'm not as quite as nervous as the ground crew at Jeff Bezos' rocket, taking off this morning. Miles, I'm glad they didn't have me smoking a joint, walking around as the ground crew. They'd say, Jimmy, did you pack the parachutes? I'd be like, yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Pack the parachutes. Yeah, okay. Got up in Canada on our boat there. We don't have any crapper toilet. So we have to kind of row to shore to take a dump. If you understand what a dump is, it's not the number one, it's the number two, but you bend over a young tree, kind of like a sapling, you bend it over and you sit down on the end of it and you do your business, sort of thing. But you got to be careful to keep a mind on it. You don't want to let too much go, or otherwise it'll fling you through the air, and that'll be the end of you, especially if the current gets you. My first mate the other day rowed ashore, and by gum, he wasn't paying attention. The next thing you see, he was going through the air, screaming and kicking and flailing, and all of a sudden, the crows came and gathered around, a gaggle like a crows, and they got him. It was a horrible sight, losing your first mate that day that way. But I'm taking a holiday. I'm traveling to Jerusalem here soon, and I signed up for the donkey ride into the town. It's going to be good, the old donkey ride, riding that donkey, waving at the crowd as you're going in and such. The only thing about the second part of the tour is where I have to drag that cross out of town and being, kicked and spit at and stuff like that. I don't know if I like that second part of the crew, but well, what about, speaking about Jesus, everybody likes that topic. It's almost like Trump. We know that Jesus took the thief on one side of him to heaven when when they were hanging on the cross. But what about the guy on the other side? Where did he take him? Well, why didn't he take him? What was his crime? Well, I found out he was a smart ass, like that stinking donkey that rode Jesus into town. That's why donkeys don't go to school. Nobody likes a smart ass. Parrots, this is an old joke. I was out one night and I grabbed a woman at the club and I took her home and I introduced her to my parrot. My parrot was in the cage and it was like, hey, Polly, you want a cracker? Look, my bird talks, I said. And the parrot looked at me and looked at her and he says, you hold her, I'll crack her. That's a old joke. Anyway, this is Jimmy R signing out from Canada, the West Coast, where it's hotter than a cannibal's crock pot. That's what
There it is, man. Climate change. She's sweating for the first time in 40 years. Fabulous, man. Your sweat glands still work, man.
Oh, man, holy moly, yeah.
Listen, Ian, you look like you've just been in California. That's bad.
Next door to you, Kevin, stalking you.
That sounds awesome. I'm ready for our next performer. You ready, Johanna?
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer invented the cotton gin. She's a balloon sculptor and the fashion designer for Gandhi. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Johanna Corrales!
Yeah.
Leroy, settle down.
Yeah, settle down, Leroy. Settle down.
I got something for you.
I don't need nothing you got, Leroy.
I like how you said that.
So I'm a Pilates instructor, and one of the important things that I do is we set goals. And some people want to lose weight, other people want to gain mobility, and I just don't want to see down into somebody's body cavity. Ew, that's right.
Okay.
I get asked which is harder, Pilates or yoga. And I would have to say the hardest is definitely trying to explain the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you teach Pilates. That's like yoga, right? No, bitch, it's not. Yes, it's exactly like yoga. It's basically the same thing. The easiest thing about the two would definitely have to be the men. I don't blame them though, Leroy, because it's basically like audio porn. Okay, you guys, we're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale out, I want you to go ahead and just relax your shoulders. Now, on this breath in, we're going to start doing a little bit of a circle with the hips. You're going to circle your hips to the right all the way. Don't cut any corners now. And you're going to circle those hips all the way to the left. Very nice. Okay, we're going to take our legs and shoot them all the way over your head. Very good. Now we're going to open our legs wider, wider. Wider. John, how wide can you open your legs? Not very wide. I'm gonna say not very wide. My dad hates that I'm a Pilates instructor. He doesn't like it at all. But my father, he has a pretty severe brain injury. But oddly enough, that has nothing to do with him storming the Capitol.
Oh,
If you work for the FBI, please don't arrest my father at 2323 Elm Street. And their gate code is 12345. My parents say that listening is key to a successful marriage. That is for everyone except for them. My mom says my mom can't hear my father anymore because he had his voice box removed. And yet he still manages to boss her around. My mother, she's really old school. She taught me that most importantly, to put my needs last. And my parents were very excited when I left my marriage because they can now go to brunch with my ex without me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johanna! I don't know if you could see what was going on, but when you did that audio porn, as soon as you said like you're like swiveling your hips or whatever, both Jimmy and Leroy had this little smile like a wolf that was starving.
oh, sorry.
Look on their face. You should have seen it. It was unbelievable.
Starving?
You ready? You ready, Leroy? I'm gonna bring up our closer. Closer today. This guy actually escaped from Alcatraz. He makes custom cabinetry from leftover meat, and he was a U.S. Senator for Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Leroy Laws!
Well. Okay, I'm really known as ONB, which stands for the Old Nasty Bastard. Because I'm old, I'm nasty, and I'm a bastard. So I'm coming right at you today. I just came back from New Orleans for a week. Down on Bourbon Street when it is wide open, they just do about anything. So I felt right at home down there. So I walked in this particular club and they was doing a little comedy. And I said, hey, can I get up there and do something? They said, sure, because most of the people are drunk and crazy anyway. So I felt right at home once again. So I get up there on stage and I said, let me tell you, back in 1975, I went to Morgan State University and I was in the student government building and eating lunch. I had my female friend sitting across me, no hanky-panky or nothing. We just knew each other. So she was eating a sub and I was eating a sub. And I said, that sub looks real good. Can I get a bite of your sub? She looked at me and said, you must be fucking crazy. And I said, huh? She said, you must be fucking crazy. I said, I just asked for a bite of your sub. What do you mean? She says, Leroy, let me tell you this. I would rather give you some pussy, or I would rather let you fuck me in my ass, or I would rather suck your dick than give you this sub. I said, wait a minute, this sounds awful crazy. Why would you do this? She says, you just don't understand, Leroy. Let me tell it to you like this. She says, okay, I'm always going to have this pussy for the rest of my life, but I might not have this sandwich. I said, okay. She said, once again, I'm always going to have this ass. It might not be as tight as it is right now later on in life, but I'm always going to have this ass. But I might not have this sandwich. And I said, okay. She's saying, these lips, I'm always going to have these lips. And believe me, before I leave this world, there are going to be a lot of dicks I'm going to suck with these lips. So I might have these lips, but this sandwich, I might not have, Leroy. And I said, wow. She said, so I could get struck by lightning right now, but at least I died eating a good sandwich. She said, men just don't seem to understand it. That's why we got the ups on you guys. And I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, as opposed when we have our little daughters and we train our daughters as they're going through life, and when it comes time for them to get their menstrual cycle and things like that, we educate them because we want our daughters to be ready for the world. And I said, okay. She said, I know you don't train your sons to do because they're little bastards. They don't know nothing. I said, yeah, you're right. She said, hey, Leroy, guess what? I had taught my daughter how to suck a dick. I said, oh, stop the presses. I said, what do you mean? She said, no, I'm serious. I taught my daughter how to suck a dick. And I said, what? She says, Leroy, in her lifetime, you know how many dicks she's going to face in her lifetime? She's going to face a lot of dicks. And believe me, it's either going to be sucking dick, giving up ass, pussy. This is how she's going to nail a man. That's how we nail you guys. One of those three things. It ain't how nice we are. It's one of those three things. It's how we're going to nail you. And I said, okay, this is a woman's perspective. I never thought of it that way because I'm not a woman. She says, now, let me tell you, Leroy. She says, I got this little hot dog. And what I did is I said, watch mommy. And I inserted that hot dog into my mouth and put it down there. And I could cough for it. And then I took it out and said, see, I can even talk to you. She said, you got to learn how to breathe through your nose. If you breathe through your nose, it's going to be fine. So now she wasn't a kid when I did. She was a teenager, like 16. So I helped her get the little hot dog in her throat. And she's gagging. And that's natural because she has a gag effect. But when she got used to it, I said, now you can breathe through your nose. I said, see, it's not as hard as you think. Can you believe me? You're going to go a long way in life because this is important. She said, now, I even gave her a little jingle, Leroy, so she would remember how to do this. And the jingle goes something like this. You put his two balls in, you spit his two balls out, you put his dick down your throat, then you watch him scream and shout, and gag and gag and gag until he passes out. That's what it's all about. I really mean it. That's the old nasty bastard telling you that story. I know I blew your mind.
The old nasty bastard. That's why we save him for last. Diane just joined us. Diane, did you want to do some comedy?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, I have a tough act to follow. I don't have any songs about dicks. I'm sorry. I just want to be upfront.
Apologize because you're following like a guy that said dick 42 times.
Should I say it 43 times? Is that the secret
Yeah,
to
we can
comedy?
start a whole. We'll call it the Dick Alley.
Okay.
All right,
hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Give you an intro. Let me give you an intro, Diane. Let me give you an intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this next performer paints murals of chickens, can recite anything by Shakespeare by memory, and cooked an 8-course meal using only one potato. Ladies and gentlemen, Diane!
Okay, Diane.
Thank you. To be or not to be. See? Talent. No one knows that line from Shakespeare at all. But I don't want to brag, but I am a triple threat, okay? I've got anxiety, depression, and ADHD. But I'm still marriage material. So, Leroy, I'm sorry, but I'm a married woman, okay? Keep it in your pants. Keep it in your pants, Leroy.
You don't care.
And being a triple threat, I just worry about how my baby is going to come out. Because when I was born, I came out all like, what the hell was that? Who the hell are you? Am I all red and scrunchy? I don't even know my name and I hate myself. Hey, Mom. Mom, can you put Xanax in the baby formula? I mean, okay. I could give birth to like the next like Albert Einstein, like Greta Thunberg, or Ted Bundy. And mothers know everything. Like, how would she brag about him? Oh, my son Ted. Oh, he's great. You know, when he's chasing something, he just pursues it relentlessly and he just doesn't stop. Mama didn't raise one, no quitter. He just keeps going and going, and so many ladies, that Ted. Oh my goodness. That Ted, he sure is a lady killer. Well, I guess I'll finally reach my goal of being in a Netflix special. Serial killers and the mothers that messed them up. It's the working title. It's very long. So I think my plan now is to have kids at the very last moment. So I won't be there to see them become douchebag adults. Hitler's mom died when he was in art school. Perfect timing. All she saw were the good parts. Can you imagine the shame she must have felt in the afterlife? But I only wanted him to take over the world. With his art, I made that very clear. World domination via the arts, not... Oh, what is he doing now? Oh, no, Adolf. No, sweetie. You used to help ladies carry the groceries across the street. Oh, 9. Oh, I should have swallowed. Thank you. I'm Diane Jorge. Be sure to tip. Never mind. This is on Zoom. Have a good one, everyone.
Well, hey.
Hi, Diane.
We're on Zoom and we're in our house, so if anybody brings you a drink, man, that's worth a tip. I don't care who it is, man. In my house, I tip righteously. Is that the word? I don't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, this was so exciting. Let's talk about what we learned today. I love this. Is my favorite part of the show. Here we go. Let's talk about it. All right. Today we learned if you're an expatriate you're like an old sponge in another country. We learned about hair that needs an exorcist, not a hairdresser. We learned about dyslexic cross-dressers. Everything's relative to the inbred. And we heard about a tickle team. I never even heard of a tickle team. I thought that's cool if you got one. We heard about country music for bar fights. And we heard about paying a therapist to watch you get high. We heard about a main course at a cannibal convention. And we heard about understanding the difference between going 1 or 2. Okay, that one scares me. That's all right. We learned that you don't need anything that Leroy's got. We learned about Pilates, yoga, and audio. And we learned that Leroy is at home with Anything Goes in New Orleans and always have pussy and ass, because you'll always have pussy and ass, but you won't always have the sandwich.
This is true.
Thing, it's true. We also learned about a self-loathing newborn baby and how important it is to have kids late in life so you don't see them become douchebags. It happens right here. It gets no better than this, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Greg Dean Stand-Up Comedy Open Mic Tuesday. We'll see you here next week. Don't forget to check out our website. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to be on Clubhouse. If you guys are on Clubhouse, come talk with us. We're doing joke fixing on Clubhouse today. So if you have a joke you want fixed, meet us there at 2 o'clock. I'm Kevin Comstock. On behalf of the entire Greg Dean team, I want to say thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Bye.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.